Yes, I certainly shall. Hello?
Hi.
Stanley?
Yes.
Been looking for you. Can you talk now? Do you have a moment?
Well, now is the time, yes.
Now's the time. Hold on a second. Let me pass you on to Mr. Yao, the producer, who's standing with me now.
Is he ready now?
Yes, he's ready.
Okay.
Just 1 second. Jim, Stanley.
Hello, Mr. Kubelik.
How do you do?
How do you do, sir? My name is Jim Yaoi.
How do you do?
Can I ask you some questions?
Yes, of course.
Please. Well, why did you choose a horror story to your newest movie?
Well, first of all, let me apologize for not being able to talk to you in person.
No.
I am, as Julian probably explained to you, I'm running around
Yes.
to various laboratories and sound studios.
Yes.
And I'm actually calling it out from a telephone booth.
Yes, we understand your situation. Yes.
Why did I choose a horror story? You could ask me that question about every film I've made, and it would be difficult for me to answer.
Mhm.
I read a lot, and obviously always looking for a film story.
Mhm.
And it's a little bit like somebody saying, "Why did you fall in love with your wife?" Something happens when you read a story that you like. It suggests the possibilities of the film, and I thought that this plot
Yeah.
was one of the cleverest of its genre, and one of the most interesting. And when I read it, I just wanted to make a film of it.
I see. What do you think of supernatural power?
You mean, what do I really think of it?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I think that there have been so many interesting stories and reports of people who have had occult experiences. It's a little bit like when there was a famous astronomer who was talking about life in the universe, you know, in other worlds in the universe, and he said, sometimes I think there is, and sometimes I think there isn't. He said, in either case, I find the idea quite staggering.
Mhm.
And I think that I would be surprised in a way if there was, and I would be surprised if there wasn't.
Well, do you have such kind of ability and supernatural power?
Say that again?
Do you have the supernatural power ability of supernatural power
No, I wish
by
I
yourself?
did.
People said that you must have predicting the future and reading the minds of actors and getting image from another dimension.
Well, I wish I could say that I did have supernatural power. No, I think I just try to do the best that I can and hope that people like it.
Yes. Well, what do you think of UFO, which is flying saucer?
Yeah.
People said. Do you think the alien people from another planet visiting our Earth?
Well, I've never really made up my mind. Again, it belongs to that category of stories that it's almost impossible to believe, and yet at the same time, some of the sightings are so extraordinary, and the people who have seen them seem so respectable and beyond, any suspicion that, one can only say that I would, I don't know.
Yeah.
I would like to believe it.
Well, Japanese people love your films, especially Space Travel 2001.
Yeah.
And but people are wondering that what is the meaning of last scene? The old man were, lying on a bed in a very old style house.
Yeah.
And could you give us an answer?
I've tried to avoid doing this ever since the picture came out, because when you just say the ideas, they sound foolish, whereas if they're dramatized, one feels it. But I'll try. I mean, the idea was supposed to be that and they put him in what I suppose you could describe as a human zoo, and to study him, and his whole life passes from that point on in that room, and he has no sense of time. It just seems to happen as it does in the film, and they choose this room, which is a very inaccurate replica of French architecture, deliberately so inaccurate, because one was suggesting that they had some idea of something that he might think was pretty, but weren't quite sure, just as we aren't quite sure what to do in zoos with animals to try to give them what we think is their natural environment. And anyway, when they get finished with him, as happens in so many myths of all cultures in the world, he is transformed into some kind of super being and sent back to Earth, transformed and made, into some sort of Superman, and we have to only guess what happens when he goes back. It is the pattern of a great deal of mythology, and that was what we were trying to suggest.
I see. Could I ask you the same question about the Shining, the last scene of Shining? You showed the picture, and
did you have? I told Julian to ask you. Did you have any difficulty recognizing Jack Nicholson?
No, not me.
No.
No. We could find Jack Nicholson, but
you weren't sure what it was supposed to mean.
Right.
Well, it was supposed to suggest a kind of evil reincarnation cycle, where he is part of the hotel's history, just as in the men's room when he's talking to the former caretaker, ghost of the former caretaker, who says to him, you are the caretaker, you've always been the caretaker, I should know, I've always been here. One is merely suggesting some kind of, endless cycle of this evil reincarnation, and also, well, that's it. Again, it's the sort of thing that I think is better left unexplained, but since you asked me, I'm trying to explain.
I see, okay. At the end of this interview, could you give to the Japanese audience about your message to the Japanese audience?
What do you mean?
Anything to the Japanese people, is there any message to them from you?
Just my best wishes, and I don't really understand your question.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Well, is there anything to say about the Shining?
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, no, I never like to say anything about my films, because I think that the pleasure that an audience receives in discovering things for themselves is a great deal of what one likes about good films. I know myself, I don't like to read what something is about or to be told before I see it, or what it means. I think the best thing is when an audience looks at a film and wonders whether something that they see is an accident, or whether the director or writer meant them to know it. I think that subtlety and allowing the audience to discover for themselves what it is the most important thing. That's why I've always tried to avoid interviews and explanations about the films. I think the film, should be able to speak for itself.
Yes. Well, I quite understand. Thank you very much, Mr. Kubrick.
Well, is that all you want to talk about?
Yes, it was excellent. Thank you very much.
Again, I apologize for not being there. I hope my daughter is helping you.
Yes. She is very good help. Well, thank you very much again.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.